Well, good morning to
Good morning,
you.
Miss Donna. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful today. Beautiful outside. Looks like it's going to be beautiful all week long. Mid 80s. I think we should just take off the rest of the week and go to the lake. What do you
There you
think?
go. There you go. Go fishing.
Go fishing or something. Go swimming or boating or something. It'll be a great time for outdoor activity.
Oh.
But work has to be done. We have to continue.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Had a great Father's Day this weekend. Somebody asked me what I do for Father's Day. I said my teenage daughter and I'm actually my grown daughter now. She's not teenage anymore, but my teenage son and my daughter that's in college took me to see Finding Dory last night.
Awesome.
So we
I
went
need
to
to
watch.
see that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It really was.
I am Dory.
I'm a big Finding Nemo fan, but Finding Dory was good too.
Finding Dory
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of comical because after the movie was over with, my wife was there sitting beside me and my two kids were there and was watching all these parents get up with their little 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds and walking out of the theater. And I looked over at my 6-foot-tall teenager son and my daughter who's a junior in college. I looked over there and I said, honey, you need to round up the kids. It's time to go. But we had a good time.
Well, at least you didn't have a problem with them throwing popcorn. And,
No.
Yeah.
No, they behaved.
I wouldn't put that past Logan's.
No, they behave themselves. I do have problems with them from now and then talking while the movie's going on, but other than that, it's all right.
Were they critiquing it?
No, they just they like to carry on their own conversations. I'm the kind of person, and it drives my wife crazy, but I'm the kind of person that when I'm watching TV or something going on, I like to get into it. And I don't like distractions because I think I've got ADD or something that I want to listen to what's going on over here. But it's distracting to me, so I can't watch that and listen to. So I like things to be quiet when I'm watching movies or television or something. But they multitask. You know how kids are. They do 10 things at one time. But it's pretty good. We had a good time though. We went outside when we got back last night and built a fire in our fire pit and just sat around the fire and had a few little local fireworks. We shot those little store-bought things from Walmart, just little sparklers and stuff, and just had a good time. Just
cool.
had a good little Father's Day there. So
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
Now I know why church was canceled for
There you go.
Sunday night. He
There you
had to
go.
go see Finding Dory.
I had to go see Finding Dory.
Okay.
But speaking of church, though, we're getting our new pastor in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be taking a vacation here and relaxing a little bit before he comes, and so I'm just getting real excited about things. I'm getting real excited about what the future holds and where we're going as a church and where we're going as a family and the sheriff's office, and everything's going great right now, and I'm just real excited and just looking forward to see what our future holds. But speaking of the sheriff's office, that's why we're here today. I guess we can talk about Finding Dory some other time. But just a few things have happened this week that we want to also talk about and just acknowledge. One is the chase that we had last week. A lot of people's been asking about it and what was going on with the chase and why we had so many officers on the side of the road looking for things and all that kind of stuff. Basically what had happened is earlier in the day, we at the sheriff's office, we had a report of a stolen vehicle, and our deputies went out and filed a report on that, got the vehicle entered in the computer as it being stolen. Later on that evening, one of our highway patrol officers spotted that vehicle out near the new 64 road and out to where the Tri-County intersection, out there at the intersection at the red light. He spotted that car and attempted to stop the car, and the car fled with him. It was the driver and the passenger in the car, and they fled from the officer. Chase ensued and was coming toward Murphy there on 64, and what had started happening was the persons in the car started throwing things out of the vehicle. So our first thought process is they're throwing drugs out of the vehicle and things of that nature. When they came down into Murphy, came to the red light there, Murphy Police Department got involved in the chase along with the sheriff's office, and we're trying to block traffic to keep the road safe when people are coming through. Which I want to stop there and mention this for just a second, just so people understand this. Anytime you see an intersection with blue light sitting in the middle of the intersection, please stop and don't proceed through the intersection. It doesn't matter if your light is green, because they're not out there just to have fun and see how much traffic they can stop. They're out there for a reason. We actually had a situation when the chase was coming through the intersection. The officers got the intersection blocked. and was getting cars stopped. And right before the chase come through, somebody decided they were going to go on anyway and ran through the light and almost created an accident there with that chase coming. So hey, whenever you see officers out there in the middle of the road with their blue lights on, whenever you see them in intersections with their blue lights on, please stop and await instruction at that point. Don't proceed on with the light pattern, but wait for instruction for that officer before you move that vehicle, because they're there to try to keep you from getting an accident. But anyway, they came through that intersection, turned left down 64 West, where the officers continued pursuit then. And as it went on out 64 West, just outside Murphy there, they began throwing larger items from the windows, suitcases, bags of clothes, things of that nature, and it was littering the entire highway. So officers were having to stop and pick those things up and get them out of the road and try to figure out what it is they're throwing out the car and those kind of things. But that chase ensued on through the Grizzly Bear intersection and turned left there on Gold Branch Road on down to Taylor Henson and back around to 19129. Where in the process, the officers trying to get the car stopped, they kept trying to get in front of the car to lay down stop sticks to deflate the tires on the car where it would slow down. Officers weren't able to get in front of the car until one of the Murphy police officers tried to get in front of that vehicle to get the stop sticks deployed, where the suspect rammed the Murphy patrol car.
Whoa.
Hit the patrol car and continued on down toward 19129. When it got down into 19129, there's a lot more to this chase that happened. He crossed the 4-lane a couple different times on the ongoing traffic. Going down 129, he began to cross lanes into the other traffic coming. And so the decision was made to go ahead and put the car out of commission at that point. And so they basically pushed the car off the road to stop the chase. There was an accident there when the police car and the suspect car collided. But it did stop the chase. It did end it there on 129, where the suspect was apprehended. Him and his passenger both was apprehended at that point and was taken into custody of the Cherokee County Detention Center. One thing that we want to clarify, because a lot of people's asked, what were you looking for on the side of the road, was a couple different things. One is we were looking for any contraband that was thrown out of the windows, any drugs or paraphernalia, things of that nature. There were some that were recovered. A small usage amounts. However, most of the things that was thrown out of the windows were like the suitcases, the clothes, those type of things, which was creating traffic hazards. So the officers were having to clear all those things off the highway and collect those things as far as evidence and things of that nature. When we interviewed the suspects as to why they were throwing stuff out the window, basically it was to distract the officers and try to get the officers to stop chasing them. That's what it was. They thought if they threw enough stuff out the window and drove reckless enough and created enough havoc that maybe the officers would quit chasing them and not follow them. This suspect that we arrested, this is not his first chase. We've had multiple chases with him in the last couple months. We actually chased him into Tennessee one time and had to wreck him in Tennessee to get him stopped. Several months ago. The Highway Patrol got in a chase with him a couple of weeks ago. Clay County got in a chase with him about 2 weeks ago until he ran his vehicle into the woods and fled on foot. So he's not new to this. This is something that's his MO and that he does over and over again. But he is currently in jail under $60,000 bond for this chase and the recklessness of this chase and all the charges that pursued out of that, and also the history of the previous chases. So he is in jail under $60,000 bond, and hopefully will await there until his court date.
Hope so.
Till the judge can do something with him. So I just want to give people an update on that, because a lot of questions have been asked about that. And it was last Wednesday night. I was actually on my way to church when this started, and because he was ramming vehicles and driving recklessly, I made a decision to go on and help with that incident instead of going. I wasn't sure whether officers were hurt or what the situation there was, but we got the chase stopped. No one was hurt at the end of this chase. We had a few vehicles with some vehicle damage. None of the sheriff's office cars were damaged, but Murphy Police Department and the Highway Patrol had damaged vehicles in this. So we're just thankful cars can be replaced, but people can't. So we're thankful that nobody got injured and nobody got hurt in that. So that's just kind of a quick update on what happened last Wednesday, and maybe they'll clear some things up that people were asking about. The other thing that we did this week was we started a volunteer program. We had our first class for our volunteer class. We're trying to develop a kind of a community awareness program, a volunteer program, Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, to try to teach people a little bit about the Office of Sheriff, what the Office of Sheriff does, just some things that we do within the Sheriff's Office as far as patrol duties, investigations, concealed permits, sex offender registries, detention center, civil process. I mean, we can just keep going on and on and on about the things that we do. But we've developed a 10-week program, and we started it last Thursday night. And if anybody out there is interested in taking part of that, it's not too late. You can still get involved in that, still come and jump in at any time with this program. But the first session last Thursday night that I started off with, I actually taught that class, and it was on the history of sheriff and where the sheriff's office came about and what we do as a sheriff's office and statutes as to what the sheriff's allowed to do and what he isn't allowed to do, what the how it plays with county government and the finance office and with county commissioners and things of that nature. So had a couple of people tell me at the end of that class that there were a lot of things that they didn't realize, they didn't understand about why things operated the way it did. And so that's one of the purposes of the class. It's just an educational, just teaching people about that, because a lot of times well, it's quite true that in years past, when you say 20 years ago or longer, that the sheriff basically could do anything he wanted to do within the county, pretty much.
Yeah.
And kind of controlled everything, and if he could make things happen, and could kind of just go in, and he didn't like somebody or somebody was doing something he shouldn't do, he could just go kick their doors in and take care of business, kind of thing. Although that's kind of changed over the years, and what you can do and what you can't do has kind of changed over the years. And also, a lot of people want to know why the sheriff does certain things or why he doesn't do them, and we must also acknowledge the fact of that we have to work with the county government, with the commissioners. And even though the sheriff may have power to do things, and even though we have authority to do things, we still have to operate under budgets and under guidelines, which is controlled by the commissioners and controlled by county government. So it's kind of a check and balance thing to where you don't have one person with all the power.
Right.
And that's kind of the way our government was set up in general. And so we don't have a monarchy where we have one person in control of all things. For example, with the laws with the sheriff's office, a sheriff can't be an elected official and practice law. An attorney can be elected sheriff, but while he's sheriff, he can't practice law. And so that kind of helps the process that you can't go out and arrest people, and you can't be hired by the district attorney's office also, where you're arresting them and prosecuting them. It kind of separates.
Giving yourself business.
Right, yeah. So it kind of separates those things, and so you can't be elected sheriff and sit on multiple boards, be appointed to multiple boards or sit on multiple boards. You can sit on one board as sheriff, but you can't sit on more than one. And so that helps where you're not elected sheriff and you're sitting on the health board and you're sitting on the DSS board and you're sitting on all the Haven boards and the Christian Love board, and you're sitting on all these boards within the county. That's a separation of power. So you don't assume all these positions on all these boards where you can control things. So it's just kind of some instructional things like that, just kind of teaching people about the office of sheriff and what the sheriff can do and how it came about, and things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to see what it has to hold and what the outcome of it is. And so far we've got some very positive feedback on that, and we're going to continue on that for the next 10 weeks. And so anybody out there that would like to be involved in that, please don't hesitate to come by the sheriff's office, get an application, let us know you want to be involved in it, and it's going to be on Thursday nights, starting at 6:30, I believe it is, on Thursday nights. So anybody that would like to come take part in that, just let us know. And hopefully at the end of this, we'll create a group of people who would like to volunteer at the sheriff's office, and that way they understand a little bit about what we do and why we do it. They're familiar kind of with the things of the sheriff's office, and help them get more involved in the sheriff's office. We want the office to become more involved with our communities, and want our communities to be more involved with the office. So that's kind of what our goal with that is. Along with that, a lot of people have made comments too, and have read in the paper this past week about Corey Marcus, who's working with us at the sheriff's office. And Corey is a very, very special young man who comes to us from Murphy High School. He has graduated there from Murphy High School, and Corey has a lifelong dream of becoming a police officer, and I had talked with his mother about this, and she had some concerns, with Corey and some of the things that his dreams and ambitions are. So we decided to come up with this little program with Corey and help him to get involved in the sheriff's office and help him come in and kind of assimilate himself with law enforcement. So I'll take Corey kind of under my wing a little bit, and we'll go out and ride around some, and we'll help deputies answer calls and things of that nature, and we'll let him do some things around the office. And so starting this week, we've given Corey another task, and the lady that works with him, that's kind of his partner there that helps him when he's at the sheriff's office, we're going to let Corey call people this week about their concealed handgun permits to let them know they're available and they can come by and pick them up and things of that nature. So we're just trying to, like I say, get more involved with our community and letting our people in our community get more involved with the sheriff's office. So if you've got a concealed handgun permit hanging out there, expect a phone call from Corey. He'll probably call you and let you know when they're ready to come by and get picked up. And so he just kind of posted on Facebook on his page that Corey is doing great, and he's kind of my right-hand man. So I just want to let people know that when they see Corey out with me, say hello to him.
Oh, that's sweet. That's good. That's good.
And so we're, like I say, we're just trying to get more involved with with the communities, and we encourage the communities to come by, and we encourage the communities to ask questions and be a part of what we do. It's kind of like those things, you're not going to bother me, you're not going to get on my nerves, you're not going to upset me if you're asking legitimate questions for legitimate reasons. When people are snooping around just trying to find something to hang you on that you're doing wrong, that kind of gets on your nerves a little bit. But, the community deserves to know what's going on at the sheriff's office. They deserve to know what we're doing with our money. They deserve to know how we're spending our money, the money that we get from the commissioners. They deserve to know what we're doing within the office. They deserve these things. And so one of the things that I stress to our deputies all the time is that we work for the people, and the people are our boss. And so we need to understand that we are different than the highway patrol, that we are different than the city police departments, that we're different than wildlife and TVA and everybody that's out there in law enforcement. Any federal agency, we're different. And so we have to act differently, we have to hold ourselves differently, and we have to communicate with the public differently than everybody else. And so so far from what I'm hearing from the public, it's been positive feedback. I'm hearing great things that people are saying about the sheriff's office they're liking, and I just hope that we can continue that on and understand that it's not my office. It's not the office of Palmer, but it's the office of sheriff. And then when I'm gone and someone else steps into that office, it's still going to continue, it's still going to run, and the office of sheriff will still be intact. And that's what our goal is to understand that it is for the people. Moving on a little bit, another thing that we had done this weekend, kind of want to let people know about a little bit, is that we did a first time ever multi-state cooperative road check at the Tennessee state line, involved with the North Carolina Highway Patrol, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Georgia Highway Patrol, and agencies all in between. We had agencies on the North Carolina side and officers come as far as Hendersonville, North Carolina, and on the Tennessee side come away as far as Chattanooga to the Tennessee line. We had Georgia agencies on the Georgia side with the Georgia Highway Patrol that was involved on their end, coming up from Atlanta and up this way. And we all just kind of converged out there at the Tennessee state line and conducted a first ever multi-state road check out there. And we had tons of, like I say, officers from different departments, different offices, different agencies that was involved with that. I saw police officers as far away as South Pittsburgh and Chattanooga and Cleveland and those kind of places out and through there. This was sponsored by the Tennessee Governor Highway Safety Program. They're the ones that kind of put it all together. On our side, kind of the North Carolina Highway Patrol took the lead on our side. First Sergeant Wood kind of looked over that and kind of coordinated that. But with it being here on our state line, the sheriff's office wanted to be involved in that also. And so we out there at the Tennessee line there on, I don't remember what night it was now, Saturday night, I guess. No, it might have been Friday night. it was Friday night, that we had law enforcement officers from everywhere there, and it was the most officers I ever seen out here at the western end of the state. We probably had 50 to 75 patrol cars there at the Tennessee state line checking cars as they come through.
Wow.
And so it was an awesome sight. Hopefully we'll have some pictures up on the website before too long. I know the Tennessee Governor's Highway Safety Program took a lot of pictures, a lot of photos with all the agencies together and some things there at the check. So we're looking forward to getting those out where people can see those things that's going on. One of the things we found by doing this cooperative check also was when we had, like, a lot of our narcotics people were there, detectives, and some of the detectives from these other cities and stuff were there. So we all met beforehand and had supper with each other and kind of introduced ourselves, talked, all those kind of things. And what we started finding was our officers was talking with these other states and with these other departments and other offices within these states. They started finding common ground as far as suspects and people were looking at, and drug dealers and things of that nature. And so we were able to actually develop some more informants and some more leads and stuff out of this. Made some contacts with officers that says, hey, yeah, I know that person. I'm working a case on them down here in Soddy Daisy. So they're from Cherokee County, from up at Murphy, but we're working on them down here. Same thing down in Georgia. Well, yeah, I know those people too. We got some intel on them down here in Georgia. And so we've been able to kind of put these officers together to work these cases with some suspects and things that's running drugs in our area and stolen property and things of that nature. So it's very, very beneficial, not just the fact of being out there and the highway patrol writing traffic tickets, but it's also very beneficial as far as us making contacts with other people and getting that information out there and sharing that information with each other.
Might be able to shut down that pipeline.
Might be. And so it was interesting to find out that some of the same people that we have here that we're looking at are same people that they're looking at in Tennessee and Georgia and other places and other.
And a name you've heard is like, oh, yeah, they're from our area.
And we actually had people here in our area that we've been looking at, but we've not really had much information that we've not really been able to do anything with. But by talking with Tennessee, they're like, oh, yeah, we've got some information on that person, and I got a person you need to talk to. I've got an informant that can tell you all about it. But we didn't work on them because all that was going on in North Carolina, and we didn't have anything here, so we just kind of didn't do anything with them. So can put us in contact with people that can help us. So it was very beneficial. It was a very beneficial thing that we did. And so I just appreciate the invitation to take part in that. And so I think you'll see a lot of positive benefits come out of that. One of the things they did say, the Tennessee Highway Patrol did say in the course of this meeting that we had, I don't know if the information was assumed or if it was hard numbers. I didn't get a chance to verify that. But one of the things that Tennessee said the reason they wanted to put this together was that they had saw in the Cleveland, Chattanooga area and also in the North Georgia area that since the casino had opened in Murphy, that their traffic had quadrupled.
Ooh.
Now, he used the word quadrupled. I don't know whether that is his estimate or whether that is actual figures that they've come up with, but the lieutenant down there actually said that their traffic had quadrupled since the casino had opened. I don't know whether it's quadrupled here or not. I just do know it has increased tremendously. And so
especially on Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon and lunchtime. If you ever try to go through Murphy at lunchtime, it's bad. And I think we've got an official rush hour that goes on around here now of the evening. So I know that, like, when the chase came through and when we're trying to respond to things, it's hard to get out into traffic, and it's hard to follow people. It's hard to do these things. I had an officer the other day that was watching a suspected drug dealer and down here in Murphy, and as the person pulled out onto the 4-lane, he tried to pull out, and he's like one car between them, and he tried to pull out and sat there for like 10 minutes before he could ever get out, and by then he had already lost them, didn't know where they went to and things of that nature. So the traffic in itself has become a nightmare around here, and so we're having to learn how to deal with that. We're having to learn how to maneuver through that, and so far it's been okay, but I don't expect it to get any better anytime soon. I'll just put it that way.
No.
One other thing, real quick thing before we go, I know we're about done. I just want to let everybody know that the IRS scam is running wild again. It kind of died down there for a while, but it's going wild again. But they've added a new twist to this.
Oh dear.
One of the new twists they've added to it is somebody that's been calling around different places trying to get money has been telling them that they are the sheriff's brother.
Okay.
Just so people understand this, I don't have a brother. I have one sister. I don't have any brothers. So
Lisa ain't gonna go around.
no, and I don't think
calling
Lisa's going to go around calling people. So just understand that these are scams. There's scams that's going on. There's no telling what you'll hear. People will say all kind of different things to try to get money out of you. So be sure you know that you don't fall for these things. And always, just like I say, we've said it a million times this year, but we want to say it 1,000,001, is just remember that the IRS does not do telephone conversations with you. They're not going to call you up. They're not going to threaten you. All their
They
correspondence.
do all of that in writing.
They do it all in writing. They'll threaten you in writing, and they'll do this, but all their correspondence is by mail. And so they will send you a certified letter. You know, if you're in trouble, they'll send you a letter to notify you you're in trouble, and they'll give you places to call and dates to meet and all those kind of things. But they're not going to call you up on a telephone and harass you and try to get money out of you and threaten to put you in jail.
And really and truly, they send you a whole lot of letters and give you a whole bunch of appointments by telephone before they ever say anything about putting you in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, you have plenty of opportunity to pay whatever you need to pay before
Yep.
it comes to that point. So, you know, just remember that there is a scam, and they throw all these different twists in there. And anytime somebody tries to get money out of fear, tries to scare you to get money, you can rest assured that there's nothing to it, that it's some type of scam. So, but the unfortunate thing about this is that these scams a lot of times come from overseas. They come from the Middle East. And if you do send money, there is absolutely no way of recovering that money. It's gone if you send it. So not even the FBI. A lot of people talking about the federal government. The FBI can't even recover it because it's going to terrorist organizations. It's going to countries that don't have reciprocal agreements to the United States. And so a lot of these places this money is going, it's just you absolutely cannot recover it. So don't send it in the first place. All right. And
Okay.
that's about all I have today. And I just want to thank everybody out there for all your encouragement, all the good things that I hear out there about the sheriff's office and what the deputies are doing. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we could do better from time to time. We're all human. But I think overall the sheriff's office is doing very well. The deputies are doing very well. And I'm very proud to be a part of it. And so I'd just like to thank everybody out there.
Well, we're proud of you too.
Thank you very much.